Hello and welcome to Brawl News. Coming up next is an expert analysis of Frank's recent buff with the answer to the question that is on everybody's mind. Is he overpowered or overrated? Jerry, are you even paying attention? Nobody thinks that Frank is overrated. He's just OP. But before that, let's go to our top Brawlnalist for the most recent Brawlympics event. Brawlnalist. Okay, Jerry, seriously, like I can get behind Brawlympics, but do I really have to say Brawlnalist every time? On to you, Kairos. Hello fellow brawlers, I'm KairosTime and it is time for another Brawlympics! Now for today's event, we're going to be taking a look and comparing the damage possible for every brawler using one single hit against El Primo. Now here are the rules behind this. Now every brawler gets one shot to deal as much damage as they possibly can with their regular attack to a single brawler for this event. Now they may use their star power if it does happen to give them an advantage for additional damage. And of course guys, for a future episode, I will do the same exact thing with the supers for every brawler. So make sure you go ahead and subscribe for that. Before we start, I wanted to give a huge thank you to Shadow, Portal, Cradu, Christina, and Super Sai for helping me record this gameplay. Okay guys, let's go ahead and start off with the lowest damage per shot in the entire game. That's right, Poco. Now, Poco's attack is pretty straightforward. He shoots out an arc that deals 924 damage per shot. Nothing too exciting about that. One quick note, I did record this gameplay actually before the most recent balance changes, so some of the numbers might be a little bit off on the gameplay, but I am going to give you the most correct numbers for the current meta right now. Number 20 is equally unexciting. We have Nita, who deals 1036 damage per shot along that little pathway. I think it's like an earthquake or something like that. Mortis comes in for the third lowest attack damage with each shovel swipe, dealing 1120 damage. And then of course we do have Jessie, who is next in line with 1148 damage. Now technically, if she did have a shot that bounced off onto a couple other brawlers, she could deal 3444 damage. But since this event only looks at her ability to damage one single brawler, she does come in 18th place. Okay guys, those first four, they were kind of boring, but that's just kind of how it goes, and I promise you that the rest of these will not be nearly as boring. Up next we have Crow with a total damage of 1568. Now Crow shoots out 3 feathers, and each feather deals 392 damage, which means that if all 3 hit a brawler, then they will deal a total of 1176 damage. Now additionally, whenever a brawler does get hit by a feather, they receive damage for being poisoned. They actually receive 4 ticks of poison that each equal 98 damage. Now for reference, this is exactly like an additional Crow feather actually hitting them. This brings Crow's one hit shot to a total of 1568 damage, placing him in 17th place. Up next, we actually have a 3-way tie for 14th place between Frank, Barley, and Tara. Now Tara throws out 3 cards that each deal 560 damage, and if you get hit by all 3 of them, then that is 1680 damage. Barley puts down 1 poisonous bottle that deals 840 damage twice, and yeah, that together that's also 1680 damage. Now if you don't like the maths, like, can you dig it? Frank is a lot simpler. He just takes his hammer and he smashes it on the ground, deals 1680 damage with a single blow. Coming in 13th place, we have Bo with a total damage of 1764 from his 3 arrows that each deal 588 to a single brawler. Up next, we have Spike. Now Spike's blast actually splits into a total of 6 pieces that all deal 672 damage. This means that if every single one of them landed a hit, it would be possible for him to deal a total of 4032 damage. But against only one brawler from a distance, most of the time you're only going to get 2 spikes to actually land a hit on the brawler, which deals 1344 damage. But if you are actually standing really close to a brawler, or you just happen to get lucky, there's a chance that you can actually land 3 pieces on a single brawler, which deals 2016 damage. That is actually a ton of damage. If you take 3 spike balls to the face that all land 3 spikes on you, then even El Primo's gonna be hurting, guys. And speaking with El Primo, guys, he actually ties with Spike for 11th place. And when El Primo attacks, he throws out 4 quick punches that each deal 504 damage, and if all 4 of them hit a brawler, then he does 2016 damage super quickly. If you add that to the fact that he has one of the fastest reload speeds in the game, El Primo is a nightmare of a damage dealer if he gets anywhere close to you. Okay guys, we're halfway over, and now we just have the final 10, starting off with number 10, Brock. Now Brock's regular attacks deal 1,540 damage at max level, and that is nothing to shake a stick at, or shake a rocket launcher at. But on top of that, if you do actually stand on those flames that come from his star power, then he actually deals an additional 2 more ticks of 240 damage, which means that if you do get hit by one of his rockets and you dance on that fire long enough to take full damage, you will take a whopping 2,020 damage from a single rocket. One thing that's kind of interesting about his attacks is that the flames actually do stack. So if you get hit by 3 rockets, you'll receive 6 ticks of 240 damage.
Number 9.
Coming up in number 9 is Shelley the Shotgunner. Now Shelley's shotgun shoots out 5 shots that each deal 420 damage. That's right guys, it's called a shot. I googled it, 5 shots per Shelley shot. 1 shell of 5 shots? I don't know, this is confusing, but hopefully you get what it means. That means that if you are close enough to get hit by all 5, you know, like if you didn't check that bush for a Shelley, then you will take a total of 2,100 damage for every shell fired.
Number 8.
Up next we have number 8, and that is Dynamike. Now when Dynamike throws out his dynamites... Wait, Dynamike? Dynamite? Oh my gosh, whoever came up with that name is a flippin' genius. Whenever he attacks, he throws out 2 dynamite sticks that each deal 1,064 damage, which means that if both of them hit you, you will receive 2,128 damage, which is insane. One thing to note about Dynamike is that the further he aims out, the more the dynamite sticks spread out, and that means that you're actually less likely to get hit by both dynamite sticks if you are at a distance.
Number 7.
Number 7, guys, is actually Colt. Now, when Colt fires his 2 pistols, I think he must shoot out 3 bullets from each, because he shoots out a total of 6 bullets that each deal 392 damage. This brings his total possible damage to 2,352.
Number 6.
Now, not much higher than Colt is Ricochet, coming in number 6. Now, Ricochet's bullets actually deal the same amount of damage as Colt's do, but he actually fires 1 less bullet, which brings up his possible damage to 1,960. But when Ricochet is maxed out and he uses his star power, each shot actually gains an additional 80 damage when his shots bounce off of the wall before hitting their enemy target. This brings Ricochet's total possible damage only 8 damage points higher than Colt's, at a total of 2,360 damage. And most of the time you're not bouncing those shots, and so really what it comes down to between Ricochet and Colt is Colt deals more damage most of the time. Ricochet has a little bit better control and has a little bit more range. But on the flip side, Ricochet has less HP, so that's kind of a toss-up.
Number 5.
Coming up in 5th place, guys, is Piper. Now at max range, Piper does 2,296 total damage. Now as a reminder, Piper does less damage the closer she is to an enemy target, and more damage at max range. Now that minimum possible damage is actually 685 at max level. But guys, if that is not enough to shake your boots, then when she does hit you from max range while hiding in a bush, when she has her star power, she gains an additional 400 damage, which results in a total of 2,969 possible damage being done by a single shot from Piper.
Number 4.
Okay guys, we are coming down here to the wire. We are down to number 4, and that brawler really is not a big surprise. It is Bull. Now, Bull's shotgun actually contains the same number of shots as Shelley's shotgun, but it actually deals 140 more damage per shot. This translates to 5 shots of 560, which results in 2,800 damage being possible with a single shot from Bull. Now, to put that into perspective, guys, if Bull unloads his weapon directly at a Frank or El Primo, the 2 tankiest brawlers in the game, and every shot hits perfectly, he can quickly take either one of them out before they can even realize what just happened. This is especially problematic for other brawlers because Bull does have one of the fastest unload speeds in the game.
Number 3.
And number 3 is probably going to be a surprise to some of you guys, but can you guess it? I'll give you a hint. It's actually Jesse's mom. That's right, guys. Pam comes in 3rd place despite each little piece of junk that she shoots out, dealing only 336 damage. Where her real firepower comes in is the fact that she shoots out 9 pieces of junk with every single shot. Now, if you're quick with math, you've already calculated her total damage to be 3,024 damage. This means that she can't quite one-shot any brawler, but the only brawlers she cannot two-shot are Daryl, Bull, El Primo, and Frank. Now, before we move on to number 1 and number 2, I wanted to quickly mention one interesting fact about Spike. Now, against players, Spike definitely only takes the 11th place with a total of 2,016 damage. However, Spike would be the next brawler in line if he was fighting against a safe in Heist. Now, the safe in Heist actually has a larger hitbox than the brawlers do in Brawl Stars, and this means that Spike's shot actually has the possibility of landing 5 of the 6 spikes instead of just 3. In order to do this, you need to be standing right on the safe, and if you do it right, Spike can actually deal 3,360 damage per shot, which means that it would only take 9 shots for Spike to finish off the safe completely by himself.
Number 2.
Coming up next, guys, we have another unexpected brawler for number 2, and that is Penny. What? That's right, guys. In normal circumstances, Penny's shot only deals 1,176 damage to a single brawler, and that would normally put her at 17th place out of all of the brawlers. But if she happens to hit a brawler and another brawler standing directly behind them, the 3 coins will burst out and deal a total of 3,528 damage. And guys, that means that that is enough for Penny to one-shot Barley, Crow, Piper, Ricochet, and Spike. And guys, if that is not enough to prevent you from clumping up when you're playing against an enemy Penny, I don't know what will. On top of that, if we are counting the damage dealt between the 2 enemies that she would have normally hit, she would do a total of 4,700 damage, which is even more than the number 1 brawler. Okay, guys, it is now time to reveal the brawler that deals the most damage in a single shot. Honestly, it probably shouldn't have been too much of a surprise for you if you've been paying attention, and if you haven't been, well, you're about to find out. The highest damage dealing brawler in the game is none other than the myth, the legend, Shelley. That's right, guys, Shelley actually deals over 11 million damage. Wait, that's not right. Sorry, guys, 1 second. Some guy named Kenyadigit seems to have hacked into my computer and replaced my script. One minute. Okay, I don't know what that was all about, but the number 1 brawler for damage with a single shot is none other than Daryl. Now, unlike Shelley's and Bull's shotgun, for which each shoot out 5 shots per shell, Daryl shoots out 2 shotguns that each shoot out 4 shots that all deal 504 damage. Now, if you are unlucky enough to get hit by all 8 of those shots from those 2 shells from his 2 double-barrel shotguns, this is confusing. Basically, that means that it's possible for him to deal 4,032 damage with 1 ammo, with 1 shot, with 2 shots from his 2 shotguns. Anyways, guys, I hope you enjoyed the video. Make sure you subscribe and stay tuned for a future video where I cover this same information, but for the supers of each brawler in the game. For now, this is KairosTime ticking by, and we will see you in the next event of the Brawlympics.
Hey, yo, man, what's happening?
Hey, you dig it? How did the test hacking go?
Man, you know what? It was like stealing the candies from the babies.
Excellent. So preparations to take over their YouTube channels are almost over. Let's go ahead and move on to phase 2 of the plan.
Oh, yeah, you know what's up, man. Phase 2, that's my favorite part.
Heck
Wait,
yeah, man.
What's phase 2 again?
Oh my gosh. You know, that part where we take that thing and we do the thing.
Oh, you mean that thing? Yeah. I'm really liking the sound of this, yo.
Dude, what are you laughing at?
Well, I mean, you know, dude, I met this dude at the prisons. I mean, my mom's house, and you know, he had this evil laugh, and you know, I was really digging it. I'm like, dude, I'm gonna try that out for myself.
Dig it? That is the most amazing idea you've ever had.